Hi friends, welcome to your program Cheerful Mornings. I am Jair Chamorro and these are our headlines for today. In our news section, we will tell you what is happening in Colombia and in the world. Find out how the preparation for the final of the Champions League between Tottenham and Liverpool are going. For our film section, today we will talk about the movie At the End of the Tunnel. Today, in our kitchen section, we have for you a delicious recipe for a spectacular dinner at home. Listen this. In Spain, a puppy was called to testify in a case about animal abuse. Let's go with the news. A Spanish judge ordered in an unusual decision that a dog was a witness in the trial for animal abuse opened against its former owner, who is accused for having thrown into trash locked in a suitcase. The judge, Sandra Barrera, surprised attendants by asking to pass the injured witness, Milagros Beach Pitbull race, during the court hearing held on Tuesday in Atlantic City of Santa Cruz de Tenerife, Canary Island. The public prosecutor clarified to the assistant that, obviously, the witness could not speak, but that they would do it by both the public accusation and forensic doctor, who explained the injuries that the animal had suffered and how it is currently. A spokesman for the Superior Court of Justice of the Canary Islands explained to F that the decision to make a dog appear in a trial as a witness, something very unusual in Spain justice, if not unpublished, was agreed by the parties, who considered it a good gesture to raise awareness in society about the problem of animal abuse. The accused testified by video conference from the peninsular city of Sevilla, where he is being held in a federal detention for alleged involvement in other acts, in this case a robbery. The defendant admitted that he had thrown the dog into a dumpster in October 2012, but claimed that he did it because he thought it was dead. The dog was saved from being crushed by the garbage truck because neighbors heard grunts inside the container and opened in a hole in the suitcase so she could get her head out. The prosecutor's office asked for a 9-month prison sentence, while the accusation filed by Valle Colino Animal Shelter requests a year of imprisonment. When they took her out, the dog was in shock. She had been locked in a suitcase that almost did not fit at where she could not breathe, and it was found that her body was full of bites from the other dogs. She told F. Adriana Naranjo, president of Valle Colino, who welcomed the animal, take care of in a good another family to adopt it. Many Colombians complain daily of the high cost of gasoline. Well, some university students developed their thesis on this subject. Let's see the note. Why, if the international value of oil falls, in Colombia the cost of gasoline remains or even rise? Have fuel price stabilization policies worked in Colombia? In order to understand how gas prices are calculated, two students for the Faculty of Economy Science of the University of Antioquia decided to focus their thesis on the surcharge on this fuel. During the investigation process, they realized that the calculation, besides being inaccurate, was unconstitutional. During one of the trials, a teacher of the faculty assured that Fuel prices in Colombia are administered, not regulated. A phrase to demotivate David Jimenez Mejia and David Bernal Pavas to investigate the operation of the Stabilization Fund of Fuel Price since its creation in 2009. The feeling we had was that the government used this surcharge as a cash flow through Ecopetrol, which is the largest state company that generates resources to the state. It has never been understood how the price of gasoline works and what is the formula used for the Minister of Mines and Energy to establish it, says Jimenez. To find out if the IFEPC had worked or was a failure, young people analyzed the behavior of fuel prices. These prices are rates, that is, they are composed by different values that move independently. Jimenez explains that this final value is made up of the sum of the value that costs to extract the oil, the investment of the refiner to purify it, the cost that a company pays to produce it, and what a gas station spends in distributing gasoline. Of the final price that a person pays, the students comment almost 50% is destined to the producer for selling a gallon of gasoline. In the country, for example, it would be Ecopetrol or Reficar. This last point caught the attention of the students when trying to find out if the Ministry of Mines and Energy, the entity in charge of establishing this value month after month, had a mathematical formula to stipulate the price. They found that they did it arbitrarily. They also found another aggravating factor. The tax base did not have a clear formula either. This base is important because it's the one used to calculate the gasoline surcharge, and with this task, municipalities and cities can finance the mega projects, perform to the maintenance of the roads, and pay for some mass transport systems, for example, the Medellin Metro. For Jimenez, the problem is that this value is not being charged of the reference price of the market, but on a cost stipulated by the minister in charge, as it is established in Article 121 of Law 488 of 1998, in which the portfolio is designed to constitute the reference value for state public of both extra and current motor gasoline and for the ACPM per gallon, which certify monthly the Minister of Mines and Energy. The Constitutional Court ruled in favor of the students. He ordered that the Congress, by the body in charge of establishing the specific criteria for the collection of the gasoline surcharge, and not the Minister of Mines and Energy, as had been done since 2098. Despite winning the demand, the students were left with a distaste. They explained that if the decision had an immediate effect, the price of gasoline would have dropped at the time. However, they will have to spend 2 years to regulate the value, and according to Jimenez, the Colombians will have to continue paying a value that was declared by the court as unconstitutional. The soccer world is celebrating, and everything is ready to play the final of the Champions League in Madrid this 1st of June. While Tottenham are in their first event final, last season's runners-up Liverpool are looking for their 6th European title. Madrid is the venue for the second All-English UEFA Champions League final, as Tottenham Hotspurs, at this stage for the first time in their history, take on a Liverpool side bidding to put aside the pain of their defeat by Real Madrid in the 2018 showpiece. Both teams mounted spectacular semi-final comebacks to reach the Estadio Metropolitano, home ground of Atletico Madrid, each recovering from 3 goals down. While Liverpool won 4-0 in their second leg against Barcelona at Anfield to progress 4-3 on aggregate. Lucas Moura's second hat-trick at the Johan Cruyff Arena gave Spurs a 3-2 victory at Ajax and an away goals success. Liverpool are seeking their 6th European title and second UEFA Champions League triumph following their memorable comeback against AC Milan in 2005, while Tottenham have never previously appeared in the final, ended their sole semi-final. Before this session came in 1861-62, 1861-62, while their best previous UEFA Champions League campaign in 2010-11 ended in the last 8. There have been 6 previous UEFA Champions League finals between clubs from the same country, all since 2000. Real Madrid were victorious in all Spanish affairs in 2000, Valencia 2014 and 2016, but Atletico, while AC Milan beat fellow Italian side Juventus on penalties in 2003, and Bayern Munich overcome Borussia Dortmund in the 2013 All-German final. The only previous All-English final took place at Moscow Stadium in 2008, Manchester United beating Chelsea 6-5 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Tottenham will be the 8th English club to appear in a European Cup final, more than any other country. Italy and Germany are next on the list with 6 each. This is the 5th European Cup final to take place in Madrid, after 1957, 1969, 1980 and 2010, all of which they were played at Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu home, and the 8th in Spain, 1861-62, while their best previous UEFA Champions League campaign in 2010-11 ended in the last 8. There have been 6 previous UEFA Champions League finals between clubs from the same country, all since 2000. Real Madrid were victorious in all Spanish affairs in 2000, Valencia 2014 and 2016, but Atletico, while AC Milan beat fellow Italian side Juventus on penalties in 2003, and Bayern Munich overcome Borussia Dortmund in the 2013 All-German final. The only previous All-English final took place at Moscow Stadium in 2008, Manchester United beating Chelsea 6-5 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Tottenham will be the 8th English club to appear in a European Cup final, more than any other country. Italy and Germany are next on the list with 6 each. This is the 5th European Cup final to take place in Madrid, after 1957, 1969, 1980 and 2010, all of which they were played at Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu home, and the 8th in Spain. dinner at home and don't know what to prepare? Don't worry, we teach you to prepare a delicious meal to surprise your guests. Hello friends, today we will prepare a delicious dinner with an exquisite cream of mushroom as an appetizer. The ingredients that we need are 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 500 grams of cleaned mushrooms, onion, salt, pepper, 60 grams of rice, nutmeg, a liter of chicken broth. To serve, we are also going to need some fresh cream. First of all, we cut the slices mushroom. Then we chop the onion. Put to heat the oil in a pan and add the onion and mushrooms. Add salt and pepper to taste. You have to stir until the ingredients are cooked. Then add the rice and nutmeg and mix. Add the chicken stock and let it boil. After this, the fire is lowered, the casserole is covered, and it is left to cook for 30 minutes. When the cream is ready, remove it of the heat and let it for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we cut a couple of mushrooms and brown them in a hot pan with olive oil. Place the cream in the blender and crush it. We serve and decorate with the cream of milk and the golden mushrooms. For our main dish, we are going to cook spaghetti bolognese. Grind 215 grams of pork loin and 250 grams of beef loin. We do the same with 2 small carrots and 2 stalks of celery. In a pan, place olive oil and a spoonful of butter. When we fry the meat, add the onion and the mixture of carrot and celery. Add tomato sauce, and if you want, you can add a little red wine. Add chopped tomato and cup of beef broth. We give it aroma with laurel levels and oregano. Then season with salt and pepper. We let cook about for 20 minutes. In another bowl we put to cook the spaghetti. Serve hot and add Parmesan cheese. Finally, for our dessert, we have a delicious cake of 3 milks. The ingredients that we will use are
son los siguientes: 3
cornstarch,
cucharadas de fécula
1
de maíz,
egg,
un huevo,
1 cup of milk,
leche
1 cup
condensada,
of
crema
condensed
de leche
milk, 1
y
cup of
galletas
milk cream,
ducales.
and cookies.
Para esta preparación vamos a necesitar la misma cantidad de leche, leche condensada y crema de leche. En esta ocasión yo estoy usando 300 gramos de cada uno. Vamos a empezar agregando todos los ingredientes a la licuadora, menos las galletas que son para decorar al final. Licuamos a velocidad media durante 3 minutos aproximadamente o hasta que veamos que los ingredientes se han integrado completamente.
Blend at medium speed for approximately 3 minutes.
Pasar la mezcla a una olla y la ponemos a fuego bajo durante 5 minutos o hasta que espese.
Then place the mixture in a pot and cook it over low
Cuando notemos que nuestra mezcla tiene esta consistencia tipo natilla, dejamos de revolver
stirring
y
continuously.
apagamos el fuego. Dejamos reposar la mezcla durante unos minutos y en un molde o refractaria empezamos a agregar una capa de nuestra mezcla seguida de una capa de galletas y
When
así
this is
sucesivamente
listed, let it
hasta
cool.
terminarla.
Then add a part of the mixture in a mold followed by a layer of cookies. We repeat the process until we finish.
Por último vamos a cubrir la refractaria con papel film y llevamos el postre a la nevera por lo menos 2 horas, o si lo pueden dejar más tiempo mucho mejor.
We
Ya
cover
pasadas
the
2
container
horas
and
desde el
take it
postre y este es
to
el
the
resultado.
refrigerator for
Lo
at
voy a
least
porcionar
2
a ver
hours.
qué cantidad me da este postre para que se hagan más o menos una idea.
We already have
Bueno,
our
como
dessert
podemos ver, me
ready
han
to
salido 10
cut and
porciones de un
serve.
buen tamaño y enseguida les voy a enseñar cómo queda en su interior. Así quedó nuestro postre, como pueden ver, con las capas de galletas que aparte de darle un buen estilo, le dan un excelente sabor. Si desean, pueden decorar el postre con fruta, mermelada o lo que deseen. Todo queda a su creatividad y espero que les haya gustado, que lo pongan en práctica y por favor se suscriban a mi canal para ver el contenido que les estaré compartiendo.
Latin America cinema continues to provide masterpieces to the delight of moviegoers. Now it's the turn of the director Rodrigo Grande, who brings us a thriller full of suspense and uncertainty in his film At the End of the Tunnel. Rodrigo Grande brings us a suspense movie called At the End of the Tunnel. His argument is centered on a man in a wheelchair who rents a room in his house to a young woman and her daughter.
Vamos todos arriba un rato.
Meanwhile,
Avísale que
a
yo
group
tengo que
of
salga.
thieves make a tunnel
Vos quédate
under
acá
the
escuchando.
man's house to enter the vault for a bank and steal the money that is there.
Sabes que no creo que sea.
They are
lo que están
discovered
buscando.
with the man in a wheelchair who ruins their plans. Now they want to kill him and escape,
Te dice que
but
escuchó
he
algo en
will
el sótano
do
de al lado del
everything
paraíso.
possible to
Hace
get
un rato
out
se había
alive
escuchado una
inside
caja.
his tenants.
Hoy a la noche vamos a estar abajo de la caja de seguridad.
La explosión no va a
This
ser tan
movie
grande,
is
¿no?
co-produced
Ni se va a ver afuera
between Argentina and Spain. It was made
¿Hace
in
cuánto que alguien no se enamora de vos?
2011.
Esa idea yo me la quité de la cabeza.
Cuando puedas bajar, que te quería mostrar una cosa que no lo vas a poder creer.
This film was
Sí, todo lo que
nominated
estás
for the
haciendo.
Volume Awards in 2015. The movie has the
No te va a salir
performance
bien.
of Pablo Echarri, as Galereto. Pablo Charri,
Vos y yo tenemos que hablar.
Pablo Echarri as Galereto. Clara Lago as Berta, and Leonardo Sbaraglia as the man in the War Child. This is an excellent option for those who love suspense thrill. Well friends, that was all for today. We thank your audience and we wait for you in our next program. Bye!